President Muhammadu Buhari's Twitter handle has also been busy since the news of the economic recovery broke. Let's check out some of the tweets from the president. The first tweet says, "I am pleased by the news of our emergence from the recession and looking forward to ensuring that the ordinary Nigerian feels the impact." Next, the president says, "I'm glad we're starting to see the fruit of our work, but there's still a lot of work to be done. We will not rest until all Nigerians feel the impact." The third tweet says, "The real change for Nigerians is an impact that is felt in their lives and in their pockets. We're on the right path and our work continues." And the last tweet reads, "Until coming out of recession translates into meaningful improvement in people's lives, our work cannot be said to be done." And now to take a further look at this subject, I'm now being joined by an economist, Dr. Bongo Adi of the Pan-Atlantic University in Lagos. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
I don't know whether to congratulate you or to be cautiously optimistic, as everybody seems to be saying. What do you make of the statistics and what they portend?
Yeah, I think it is time to be cautiously optimistic, as they say. There is no need to be too exuberant about the statistics. Yes, it's not a surprise because I think the recovery is driven by, if you go back by May this year, the Purchasing Managers Index, which actually shows the condition in the output sector turned positive for the first time in very many months. So from that May to now, I think, again, GDP is a lagging indicator because this is a second quarter GDP and we are about entering into the fourth quarter of the year. So that tells us that the intervention that the central bank made in the foreign exchange market started to bear the expected fruits. Okay. Also, if we take into consideration the time lag. So I guess those are the conditions that preempted what we're observing now, the economy coming out of recession. But like I said, it is not a time to be too exuberant about what is happening. Okay, fine, it's going to boost consumer confidence, and then maybe employment will turn around. But then the last figure we have on unemployment is still very high, 14.2%, and that was in June. That's the latest figure we have from the National Bureau of Statistics. So,
now, I'm sorry to butt in, but I'd like to zero in on a few of the major policies that you think government adopted in the last couple of months that led to this change, that led to Nigeria coming out of recession. What did you think were some of the major things?
The major one, the major and the singular factor for me was intervention in the foreign exchange market. Okay, I think that's what has driven this growth because it removed the constraint that manufacturers were experiencing in input sourcing and also repatriation of funds and so on and so forth. But again, we know that the debt, the government debt is very high, and that is what might torpedo this new momentum that we have experienced in the economy right now. Interest rate is also very high, which means that investors may not have all the funds they need to invest in the economy. So that is a very, I think, not so strong indicator when it comes to that.
Now, you preempted my next question, which was having to do with what could reverse this. I mean, because it's 0.55%.
Yeah.
It's still quite fragile.
Very, very fragile. We're just out of the negative side, so negative territory. That is what it means. But it doesn't mean that, like Bismarck was saying earlier on, our population is growing at almost 3%. And our economy is at 0.55%. So that is nothing to be optimistic about. Okay, so what can reverse this? Interest rate is still very high. So borrowing, getting funds to finance manufacturing, investment, and entrepreneurship is still very fragile.
Now, finally, and in a few words, what areas have been left that still need to be touched for this to be sustained, for it to move from fragile to sustainable?
Interest rates, if I may put it that way. Interest rate, the high interest rate, because right now, for every 1 naira in the GDP, Nigeria has in the budget, 60 kobo is used in servicing debt.
Thank you very much for joining us on the News at 10, Dr. Bongo Adi of the Pan Atlantic University in Lagos. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.